What if I told you that the secret to achieving greatness isn't found in moments of excitement or thrill, but in the mundane, repetitive task that most people shy away from? Yes, greatness can be achieved by embracing boredom. Imagine you have your phone in hand and you're scrolling through social media or watching videos. It's entertaining, right? Now let's switch it up. What if instead of choosing the easy, fun option, you opted for something boring like reading the terms and conditions of an app? It sounds tedious, but here's the twist. In those moments of boredom, you're training your mind to endure discomfort, to push through the mundane. Think about it. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and creators didn't reach the top by doing what's fun and easy all the time. They got there by consistently showing up, even when the task was repetitive, tedious, and, yes, boring. They found greatness in the grind. When you embrace boredom, you're actually strengthening your discipline, focus, and patience. The exact qualities that lead to extraordinary achievements. Stick with me till the end of this video, and you'll discover how to rewire your brain to find strength in boredom, turning those seemingly dull moments into opportunities for growth and, ultimately, greatness. First, let's look at Sir Isaac Newton, who was one of the smartest people in history. Newton wasn't always the famous scientist we know him as. In fact, he came up with his groundbreaking ideas while he was bored. An old story says that Newton had to leave Cambridge University and go back to live with his family during the Great Plague of 1665. As a result of not having any classes or a busy college life to keep him busy, Newton had a lot of free time and not much to do. And yes, it was during this time of being alone and bored that he started to think a lot about nature. Newton began to come up with his ideas about gravity, motion, and sight when he was focused and not distracted by anything else. The famous story of the apple falling from the tree, which led to the idea of gravity, is a great example of how being bored can make you realize important things. Newton's mind was free from the distractions of everyday life, so he could let his ideas wander, try new things, and think about what was going on in the world. He came up with the 3 laws of motion, which are the basis of classical mechanics, during this time of intense focus and creativity. Now, think about what Newton would have done if he had the distractions we have today. What if he had spent his time watching endless videos or scrolling through social media? Would he have had the same brain space to think about such deep things? Most likely not. Newton became very smart when he was bored because that state let him think about things in ways that he couldn't have in a more interesting setting. Embracing boredom to achieve your own greatness. So how can you leverage boredom to achieve greatness in your own life? The key is to understand that boredom isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's an opportunity. Here's how you can start embracing boredom and turning it into a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Disconnect to reconnect first and foremost. You should begin by establishing specific intervals throughout the day during which you will unplug from any and all sorts of digital distractions. This requires you to put your phone on silent, close your laptop, and turn off the television while you are doing this. You are providing your mind with the opportunity to wander and develop new ideas by removing these distractions from your environment. It is during these periods of silence that your brain is able to analyze information in a more profound manner and come up with inventive solutions to issues. Engage in repetitive, mindless tasks. Find things that are repetitive and take little mental effort, and then go on to the next step. A straightforward activity such as going for a walk, knitting, or even doing the dishes could be considered an example of this. You will be able to think more creatively as a result of these assignments. Your brain enters a state that is known as diffuse mode when you are not actively concentrating on something tough. This is a state in which your brain is able to build new connections and come up with fresh ideas. The creative process was sparked by these kinds of activities by some of the most brilliant minds and artists in history, like Steve Jobs and Albert Einstein, amongst others. Allow your mind to wander. When you find yourself having nothing to do, Fight the impulse to fill the vacuum with something that will engage you right away. Choose to let your thoughts roam instead. In spite of the widespread assumption to the contrary, daydreaming is actually an effective method for generating creative ideas and finding solutions to problems. While your mind is wandering, it is investigating a variety of possibilities, establishing connections between concepts that at first glance appear to be unconnected, and frequently arriving at solutions that would not have been possible through focused thinking alone. Practice patience and delayed gratification. Patience is a virtue that we might learn from boredom in this time of quick satisfaction. We are compelled to slow down, to sit with our thoughts, and to wait as a result of this. The cultivation of patience is an essential skill for accomplishing long-term objectives and achieving greatness. Embracing boredom is a great way to train oneself to wait satisfaction and to persevere through challenging tasks without the desire for immediate rewards. This self-control is the defining characteristic that differentiates individuals who accomplish greatness from those who do not. Use boredom to reflect and plan. One final piece of advice is to make use of times of boredom as opportunities for introspection and preparation. There is a mental space that allows you to analyze where you are in life, where you want to go, and how you are going to get there when you are not being inundated with information and stimuli. For the purpose of establishing and accomplishing goals that are meaningful, this reflection is essential. During these times of peace and quiet, you will have the opportunity to get your activities in line with your long-term goal and make any necessary modifications. The state of boredom, which is frequently regarded as something that should be avoided, is in fact a potent trigger for greatness. By allowing yourself to be bored, you're allowing your mind the opportunity to think more deeply, to investigate new ideas, and to cultivate the discipline that is necessary to produce results.